We got a pretty decent selection here, and that's thanks to the guys at Tucson Guns. Tucson Guns is a full-service gun shop, Class 3 dealer here in Tucson, Arizona. They've been in business for 7 years now. Ever since the beginning, they've been supporters of our websites and now our videos. What they've done is given us the opportunity with 10 different 380 pistols, compare, review, evaluate them, and yes, even get a little range time. So we do appreciate the opportunity. Hopefully we'll do it justice here. Now again, we have a decent selection here. These are all popular, they're all modern. The one we are missing is, of course, the big one we're missing is the SIG. That's not by design. Unfortunately, it's just an availability thing. We don't have a SIG to offer you in this video, so I apologize for that. But let's introduce the players that we do have. We'll start out with this giant Walther PPK 380. Next up, we've got a Walther again. This one's a PPK-S. Next up, we have a Bersa Thunder 380 Plus. Yep, and then we've got a Kel-Tec P3AT. Next up we have the Ruger LCP. Next we have a 738. Next we have the Kahr P380. Then the Diamondback DB380. Then we've got the North American Arms Guardian 380. And the little guy on the end is the Magnum Research Micro Desert Eagle. What we did is come up with a quick little thing here. So we're going to shoot the 10 different 380s. We're going to find out if the shooter has shot it already, their first impression of it. Next, as they get a grip on it, if they like the way that, the ergonomics or whatever, as they're taking their sight picture, do they like the sights? And these are going to be, I guess, on a 1 to 10, 10 being best. Trigger, after they shoot it a few times, how they like the trigger. Once they've shot it, overall, how they liked it. Yes or no, would you buy it? And then we'll measure the group, and then after everybody shot all 10, we'll just number them 1 to 10, our order of preference.
Alright, so that's a quick rundown of the chart that we came up with to track our opinions and our thoughts as we were running through the shooting part of the comparison. So we had 3 shooters. We intended to have 4. Not everything worked out like we planned because of time and other things. We just only could get 3 shooters in. So we also didn't, because my fault, we didn't get a good target up, so we weren't able to test accuracy. We'll learn from that mistake, though, and in the future we'll have better targets so that we can actually test accuracy at the same time. We didn't do the 1 to 10 ranking only because we didn't have time on the range that day. So the 3 shooters are going to meet up maybe next week or so, and we'll have the ranking by then, and maybe we'll turn on the cameras and do sort of an after-action debriefing kind of thing. Talk about the videos, the comments they've received by then, and that might add another interesting twist to the reviews. So what we're doing in this video is introducing the next 3 videos, which are the basically turning the camera on as 3 different shooters went through and shot each of these 10 pistols. Some of the things that we found that we didn't expect were when I turned on the high-speed camera, which does real good slow motion, we saw that we were able to actually compare recoil, and that's what the rest of this video is going to be. So we're looking at the Kahr P380, and the first thing we saw there was straight out of the camera at 1,000 frames per second, and now we put it on the computer, and in the software we slowed that down 10 times. So that's the second part. So we saw the action of the pistol, the muzzle blast, and again sort of a hidden extra when we did the high-speed filming. As we saw there, we were able to get really cool images, still images of the muzzle blast on each of these pistols. Unfortunately, it's not something I originally had intended to do ahead of time, so we didn't get every pistol. We got the Kahr there, now the Diamondback, and again there's the muzzle blast from the Diamondback. Now here there'll be the Diamondback in 1,000 frames per second slowed down 10 times, and you can see the trigger coming back. You get a pretty good idea how the slide works, how much recoil is coming back into the shooter. Luckily, this was all one shooter, I believe. So as far as muscle, grip, there should be some consistency there. Now this is the Diamondback again with 2 hands at 1,000 frames per second. And now the muzzle flash picture. And then we'll go to 1,000 frames per second, the same clip, except slowed down 10 times. And it really gives you a good idea of what the recoil is like. And when we talk about bore axis, that'll come into play when you see how much muzzle flip there is, how high the muzzle goes. It's also interesting to see how and where and with what velocity the brass or the empty casing, how and where that's ejected. All that's visible in high speed, and this will happen quickly. That's 1,000 frames per second muzzle flash, and a still image of the muzzle flash. and now this will be 1,000 frames per second slowed down 10 times. This Taurus TCP is a very fast shooting little pistol, so that shot went off very quickly, and the slide operates pretty darn quick. Now we'll see it again with two hands, and you can see the hammer drop. Now watch it in even slower motion here after the image. This is a still image. Now we'll watch that hammer drop, and you'll actually be able to see it drop and 10 times, slowed down 10 times even slower. Again, this wasn't something we were planning, but we'll try to do more of this in future videos. I think it's very interesting to see the differences in recoil. This is that NAA Guardian, an all metal, so a heavier pistol. And I think there's some noticeable difference there in the initial inertia. That slide moves, and then it takes some time before the rest of the pistol moves. This is the Micro Desert Eagle. Again, it happens pretty quick at 1,000 frames per second, so we'll slow that down 10 times. And you can see his trigger finger coming back. You can see that hammer start to go back, and then you'll see it drop. And that's a short little barrel, so I suspect it might actually, I don't know how much dwell there is there before that goes off and that slide starts moving. So the Walther, a more full-size pistol, is actually a good comparison because you'll see there's a little bit less going on as far as action or fast action. It all happens a little slower in a larger pistol. So it's a good comparison with the smaller ones. This one, of course, is a polymer, so the next one up should be the PPKS, which is an all steel one. Oh, I guess we have another shot. This time it was shooting to an open slide. So in other words, the magazine was empty. And I just threw this in because it's interesting that it doesn't always go forward, and it's just a little bit different. It's neat to see the shockwave on that one. We did slow these all down and didn't find any bullets in midair, but we'll try in the future with maybe slower ammunition to see if we can catch a bullet. And again, you can see the difference here with a larger pistol that's all metal, difference in inertia. And now we'll see that slow down a little bit more. I left that one a little bit longer because of how the brass looked. It's pretty neat how it just twirls through the air. And again, a lot less twist in the frame. The round goes off, has plenty of time for follow through because the majority of the pistols, just sitting there. Again, I left this go a little bit longer because the way that it ejects brass is kind of neat to see it sort of dance in the air there. And then the Bersa Plus, Thunder 380 Plus. Again, a larger pistol made of aluminum. Big rubber double stack magazine. It would have probably been even more dramatic if we had a full magazine, adding more weight. So again, these are some sort of hidden video that we didn't anticipate getting, so happy to share it with you. And in the next 3 videos, you'll get opinions from our 3 shooters, myself and 2 of the other guys. We sat down, we shot them all, we gave you our honest opinions. So, you ask for opinions, you get them.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.